Okay, so you can't swim, you don't know your times tables, you can't do any pull-ups, and you're getting picked on. We can change all those things. We just have to get a plan, put it together, and make it happen. So puts him on the workout program, teaches him how to study, teaches him how to swim, teaches him jiu-jitsu.
If it was only that easy.
Yeah. And what's good is it's not as hard as people think. And I think that's why the book's getting a strong reaction, because there's actually pragmatic methods in there on, for instance, I went through all this stuff, not knowing times tables. I went through that with my daughter, my oldest daughter. Didn't know her times tables. And what she thought was, she's stupid. She thought, I'm stupid. I don't know my times tables. Other kids know them. I don't know them. And I said to her, she's crying. She's in whatever, 3rd or 4th grade, crying. What's wrong? I'm stupid. Why do you think you're stupid? I don't know my times tables. Oh, well, how much have you studied them? I haven't studied them. Well, how do you think you're going to know them if you haven't studied them? What do you mean study them? Boom, make flashcards. An hour later, she knows her times tables. It's that. And so I actually go through that method in the book. How do you learn how to fight? You're getting picked on? How do you learn how to fight? You go down to your jiu-jitsu school and you start learning jiu-jitsu. And you and I both know, if you know jiu-jitsu in a grade school fight in 6th grade, you're going to win 100% of the time, right? So you learn that. Learn how to swim. How do you do that? And his big thing is he's afraid of water. Well, why are you afraid of the water? How do you overcome that fear? How do you overcome fear? You got to inoculate yourself to it. You start off wading in the water, then you dunk your head, then you get, then you lay down and you feel the water all over your body, and then eventually you step in, and then eventually you start to dog paddle, and then eventually you start to swim, and then eventually you jump off the bridge. So these are real things. That's how you overcome fear. And that one I got from my middle daughter, who wanted to be in the school play, but she got stage fright. And so she would freak out every time she would have to go in front of a crowd. So I said, okay, we're going to inoculate you to being in front of people. First, you're going to sing in front of me. And then you're going to sing in front of me and mom, and then you're going to sing in front of me and mom and your brothers and sisters, and then you're going to sing in front of, our friends that are going to come over. There's going to be 10 of them, and then you're going to sing in front of, all of the people that we know at a block party, and then you're going to get out and you're going to do your rehearsal. And she did it, and she got inoculated, and I'll tell you right now, she's not afraid of anything, that girl. And so that's the same thing that he goes through in the book, overcoming his fear of water. He inoculates to it, gets used to it, and then finally the final step is you have to go, right? You can't overcome every part of the unknown. You have to, there's always going to be some unknown in doing something that you've never done before. And then what do you do when you've prepared as much as you can and you've done all the training that you can do? Then you got to step up and you got to go. So that's what the book's about. And I wrote it so that kids can apply these things that I learned, both in the SEAL teams and in raising my own kids. They can apply them to their life. And the reaction's been great. It's been great to see all these kids reading it and all the great feedback of kids doing push-ups and pull-ups and training and going down and starting jiu-jitsu and making flashcards. It's awesome.
That is awesome. And then one of the cool things about being a kid is it's a struggle in that you haven't really achieved any success yet in anything. But what you don't realize is that you've got all these possibilities to get good at stuff.
Yep.
Like once you become really good at something, one of the real problems is people don't like to get out of their comfort zone and become a beginner again.
Yep.
And it's one of the beautiful things about life is humbling yourself with something new.
Yeah.
Humbling yourself and learning stuff. And kids, they don't have that lesson yet, so everything is terrifying, but once they do learn it, if you could teach a kid how to get good at one thing, like one of the things that led me to get good at stand-up comedy and all the other things that I did is that I got really good at martial arts young. So I knew, okay, I sucked when I first started. I remember sucking, but I remember I kept working and I get good at it because I focused and I put the time in. Well, if I just do that with anything else, I mean, you've learned that you can make a path. You can do it. It can be done.
And that's kind of one of the main points of the book. And when the kid finally does his 10 pull-ups, that was his goal. And his uncle says, do you understand what this is about? And this kid says, well, it's about, I can do pull-ups now. And he says, no, this is about everything. About everything that you want to do in life. You're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to come up with a plan. You're going to have the discipline to execute that plan. And when you do that, you're going to be able to achieve what you want to achieve. And that's hard work. Hard work and discipline is what's going to get you there.